The music never gets old. It's indisputable with Dr. Rashad Ritchie. Doc has the day off. So let's just, I don't know, do this together. Kind of see and say and go through everything together. As you know, this is your show of record. Just a mirror that we hold up to America and this beautiful TYT family. We get together, we discuss it, and we land where we land, trying to make the world a better place, one story at a time. We're going to begin with this, and it's not going to start good because, again, this is a mirror. We're holding it up to society. And when this White House is part of our greater society, you know it can't be good. And now, not Biggie Small. You're involving Notorious B.I.G. in your nonsense. Yeah, you are. It's blasphemy. It's hip-hop blasphemy, really. White House uses a Biggie Small song to promote Trump's agenda. What would Big say? God. Trump's latest offense occurred in a January 3rd X post published by the White House to celebrate the capture of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. They wrote, "If you don't know now, you know." Really? Attached a montage of moments intended to prop up Trump and the controversial feat, shall we say? The clip began with Maduro exclaiming, "Come get me. I'll wait here in Miraflores. Don't take too long, coward." Then cut to U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio at a podium as he remarked, "And now if you don't know, now you know." I don't have a ton of rhythm, but I've got more than these people who are invoking Biggie Smalls here. Really? Jesus. Where is Kid Rock? Where's Kid Rock? Quoting Kid Rock to do your dirt. Leave Big out of it. So that was Rubio. Next, followed by the widely circulated image of Maduro with his hands bound, eyes covered, and then an AI-generated video of Trump with a smug smile as he walked through a hallway flanked by servicemen. Tire sizzle reel, soundtrack by the Notorious B.I.G.'s 1997 smash hit, Hypnotize. It's blasphemy. Last year, Donald Trump administration faced backlash for using songs by artists such as Sabrina Carpenter, Olivia Rodrigo, among others, instead of showing more support to MAGA-aligned artists, right? I mean, we talked about Kid Rock. He's had a few hits, I guess. After the Department of Homeland Security shared a video asking undocumented immigrants living in the U.S. to self-report, Olivia Rodrigo fired back at them for using her song, All American. Rodrigo, who is Filipino-American, wrote, "Don't ever use my songs to promote your racist, hateful propaganda." Then there was a video the White House posted of agents arresting individuals overlaid with Sabrina Carpenter's song, You Know. White House's caption reads, "Have you tried this one?" in reference to one of the lyrics. In response to a video, Sabrina Carpenter replied that, quote, "This video is evil and disgusting. Do not ever involve me or my music to benefit your inhumane agenda." Thank you, Sabrina. In her statement, White House continued to reference Carpenter's music. Here's a short and sweet message for Sabrina Carpenter. "We won't apologize for deporting dangerous criminal, illegal murderers, rapists, and pedophiles from our country. Anyone who would defend these sick monsters must be stupid, or is it slow?" said White House spokesperson Abigail Jackson, referencing Carpenter's short and sweet album and man-child song. Politico filling in the reporting for us here. Carpenter's the latest in a long line of musicians condemning Trump, demanding that he stop using their songs dating back to his 2016 campaign. In 2024, Beyonce threatened a cease and desist order to the Trump campaign after it used her song Freedom in a video. Gee. That song later became former Vice President Kamala Harris's campaign song. Swedish band ABBA, rock band Foo Fighters, singer-songwriter Kenny Loggins have also demanded the president stop using their music at rallies and in videos over the years. Trump administration has used music from Taylor Swift's latest album, Life of a Showgirl, 3 posts on social media, first shared by the official White House account on TikTok, was a patriotic slideshow of images set to the lead single, The Fate of Ophelia. As Swift sings, "Pledge allegiance to your hands, your team, your vibes." Video cuts to pictures of the U.S. flag, President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance, and the first and second lady. Second and third were posted by Team Trump, the official count for the Trump campaign. One set to father figure, riffs off the lyric, "This empire belongs to me." Caption, "This empire belongs to @President Donald J. Trump." While the other celebrating Melania Trump winning something called the Patriot of the Year Award is soundtracked by Opalite. Responding to Variety's request for comment, a White House official replied, "We made this video because we knew fake news media brands like Variety would breathlessly amplify them. Congrats, you got played." Representatives for Swift did not immediately return Variety's request for comment. Okay, so let's start with that last part. Indeed, I do agree with the statement from the teenage bullies in the White House. We are getting played. These aren't accidents. They are stealing this music, putting it up, because they know they're going to get a reaction from the artists who hate them and despise everything they're going about. Artists of color, Taylor Swift too, okay? Her cats alone say you're not supposed to be using her music from, especially not you, J.D. Vance. None of these people like you, and yet you're doing it again and again and again. Notorious B.I.G. left us too soon. His mother departed not too long ago. What will the response be? Who knows? The damage is done. We're not talking about private citizen versus private citizen or an artist who ripped off some things and didn't pay for it, sampled a little too much. We're talking about the president of the United States and these thugs who could care less, who say, we make the rules, we do as we please, and we dare you to stop us. And that includes the artists that they cannot stand in most of Hollywood. Not Kid Rock and, I don't know, Angelina Jolie's father, but the rest of them, yes. We'll see what happens next, part 2. We got played. We'll see who gets the last laugh. This is Indisputable. Doc has a day off. I'm Sharon Reed, much more to come, including your comments. Can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Damn it, they failed us. And if you're not angry about that, Michael, and any of you out there, then you're damn wrong, because you should be angry. Young Turks.
It was genuine. He was mad.
Cenk Uygur, known online as one of the Young Turks, isn't afraid to throw some punches.
3, 2, 1, fade up.
Cenk the Turk Uygur.
What kind of TV station is this? The whole point is for me to yell and scream and tell you what I think.
It was right out of like Wayne's World.
This guy on this little rinky-dink website is speaking truth to power.
We've been averaging 600,000 views a day, beating most of the cable shows in America.
We're the largest online news show in the world.
We're celebrating our 1 billionth view. Television, we're coming.
More politics ahead with Cenk Uygur.
He knew that the MSNBC opportunity was an experiment.
If fill-in hosts beat CNN and headline news combined, at some point, they want to give me a show.
Every single year, that comes out of our paycheck. We put it in, and you're saying we were suckers.
When you, as a host, tells someone you're interviewing to shut up, that's going to raise a red flag.
That guy needed a tall glass of shut-up juice.
If President Obama's doing the wrong thing, I'm not going to tell you that he's doing the right thing so I can, quote, support him.
He says to me, "You won't believe the meeting that I just had."
The head of MSNBC talked to me.
And they want him off the air.
Cenk took an incredible risk.
We're supposed to challenge the government. That's the role of the media. The Democrats and the Republicans are here to screw you. And who on the air is saying it?
I wouldn't have done what he did.
That if I'm going to be a talk show host, I should be the biggest talk show host in the country. I don't think anyone else does it better. I don't think anyone's even close.
Before you know it, I'll be back on your TV doing a national show. I guarantee it.
Magic. It's showtime. And say 45 minutes.
I'm hosting today.
Now, I know what you're thinking, JR, your face is already perfect, but you know what? I still need to apply some makeup. I went through this process, right? A few years ago. when I realized that I was gonna have to wear makeup on the show, I had to go through like finding out what my undertones were. You guys know what those are? I got my MAC Cosmetics. It says SPF 15 foundation, broad spectrum. But apparently what I have is red undertones, and I think pores are not supposed to be seen. I need all these things to be confirmed for me. These sponge things don't work for me. You gotta use your hands. At least I do. That's how the magic really happens. So we're gonna go through a tutorial how to make the magic happen from beautiful to beautifuler. Let's go. I've already been moisturized. That's the first thing. But moisturization already happened. We go raw. All hands. Pick up a couple streaks. This is the guy way of putting on makeup. Look at that, dots. There's some shiny points that generally happen. First of all, here we go. You dust here. I'm putting way too much, but you dust. Oh, get the excess off. You don't want chunky powder. There's like a T-zone, I think, right? Mine is a double T-zone. Because I went middle and another cross. Make sure your nose isn't all shiny. People get on you for it. They'll say, that's not a good point you made on there, JR. Your nose is shiny. You guys are picky like that sometimes. I think that's about it, fellas and ladies. See you guys next time. Bitsies.
Welcome back to Indisputable. Doc has the day off. We miss you, Doc. I'm Sharon Reed. Love you guys, though. And what do you say we get to some of your comments right now? Because I can't wait to hear what you have to say about, Biggie Smalls. Why would we allow, this president has done so many things, the entire administration, Stephen Miller, his wife even. But once you invoke Biggie, shouldn't someone act? Can't we end this thing today? And by end it, don't come after me. I'm not talking about violence. I'm talking about let's do what the Constitution allows lawmakers to do. Okay? Where's Hakeem Jeffries? This alone, he should be on the House floor. Someone should be introducing articles of impeachment. He loves to quote Biggie. We need you. Get to your comment. TYT members first, Andrew Martinez. Why aren't they using Nicki's songs? That's maybe a good question. Teo1790 says, this proves that MAGA artists lack the creativity needed to be legitimate artists. I probably would say something if I was Kid Rock and call into the White. I would say, hey, what's up, bruh? Okay. I'm the guy who likes to have my shirt open in the pot belly and the American flag, costume on. Why aren't you playing my music? Why aren't you playing my music? DB Hawk 3, thank you for your contribution. We love you. We appreciate you. If Biggie were living, he'd smack Trumpy down. He'd probably threaten it in a song. We don't need more rap violence, but I see what you're getting at. And you're right, Big wouldn't stand for it. Although who knows what his sidekick Diddy dancing in all the videos would do about it. If Diddy were in charge of Biggie's music today, nothing happens for obvious reasons. Let's get to Twitch. Getting some comments on Twitch today. Thank you, Neon Death 07. Ugh, I hate DMCA. I do support copyright in its intended form. Octo Squiddy says, everything I needed to know in life I learned from Biggie. This is what all fascists do. Appropriate anything and everything to use for your own propaganda. Nothing is safe. And to think, you all love to accuse the Kardashians of co-opting this. The Kardashians have got nothing on what Trump is doing here, okay? They're used to the culture and occasionally wearing cornrows. Nothing. All right, let's get going here. When you roll with billionaires, it's an exclusive club. Most of us will never even have a peek into it. We won't. We won't know what they talk about at their cocktail parties, but we can guess how to make more money, how to steal more money, how to keep other people small. It's just a guess. Billionaire Trump megadonor set to make a killing on Venezuela oil. You don't say. Oil tycoons, billionaires, and war hawks are salivating at the invasion of Venezuela, especially founder and president of Elliott Management Corporation. That would be one Paul Singer. This is Paul Singer, the billionaire, megadonor of Trump's reelection campaign. He is going to make a lot of money off of Venezuela oil. And if my friends call me up, maybe their kid says, "Oh, Sharon, she's selling Girl Scout cookies or some kind of fundraiser," I buy, even if I don't want the product, because those are my friends. When you are a billionaire, you don't really even have real friends. You do know that, right? This was an investment. This was pay to play. Oh, this reelection campaign, sure. How much do you need? What am I going to get out of it? And by the way, I'll make sure you're rich too, since you haven't divested out of any of your Trump companies. One of President Donald Trump's top billionaire donors, who has spent the past several months backing a push for regime change in Venezuela, is about to cash in after the president's kidnapping of the nation's president, Nicolas Maduro, this weekend. While he declined to tell members of Congress, Trump has said he tipped off oil executives before the illegal attack. Press conference following that attack, he said the U.S. would have our very large United States oil companies go into Venezuela, which he said the U.S. will run indefinitely and start making money for the United States. Signed, Vladimir Putin. I mean, doesn't that sound like something Putin would write and say with that smirk on his face? Hey folks, in case you didn't notice, we're not kind of like Russia. This is what Russia did. This is what Russia is doing. And this is what we're doing. Singer gave a lot of money to Trump during the 2024 election. 2024, Singer, an 81-year-old with a net worth of $6.7 billion, donated measly $5 million to Make America Great Again, Inc. from Super PAC. Singer donated tens of millions more in the 2024 cycle to support Trump's allies, including $37 million to support the election of Republicans to Congress. He also donated an undisclosed amount to fund Trump's second transition. I wonder if he's allowed to just pocket that. I mean, it's transition money. Singer gave a lot of money to Trump during the 2024 election. As we said, he's also a major pro-Israel donor. Imagine that. Foundation having donated more than $3.3 million to groups like Birthright Israel Foundation, Israel America Academic Exchange, Boundless Israel. Now here's where it gets really, dark. November 2025, less than 2 months before Trump's operation to take over Venezuela, Singer's investment firm, Elliott Investment Management, inked a highly fortuitous deal. Purchased Citgo, U.S.-based subsidiary of Venezuela's state-owned oil company, for $5.9 billion. A sale that was forced by a Delaware court after Venezuela defaulted on its bond payments. This is an interesting coincidence. Singer acquired the Citgo's 3 massive coastal refineries, 43 oil terminals, more than 4,000 gas stations at a major discount because of its distressed status. Advisors to the court overseeing the sale estimated its value at $11 to $13 billion, while the Venezuelan government estimated it at $18 billion. And even though Maduro and his friends are crooks, I'm going to go take the $18 billion number. I suggest to you that the $18 billion is closer to what it was. So fire sale doesn't even begin to cut it. Okay, pennies on the dollar. Here's what he got it for. Venezuelan Vice President and Minister of Petroleum Delcy Rodriguez called the sale of Citgo to Singer fraudulent. enforced in December. Yeah. Sometimes crooks say things that are accurate, sometimes. Singer is expected to be one of the biggest beneficiaries of an oil industry controlled by US corporations. Hey, look, folks, this is so terrible. We've watched in real time the Trump administration blow up Forrest Gump. And in one instance, at least, when several Gumpers survived and were clinging to pieces of wreckage, what was it, 40 minutes later, they dropped another one and snuffed them out. All under the guise of we're protecting Americans from the drugs that were not headed here. I'm so tired of people talking about the bad actors, Maduro's not good. We're not talking about that. We're talking about rule of law, due process, and not assassinating people because we want their riches, their treasures, their oil. We've invaded Venezuela, and you have that bold guy who's always with the president talking about how we're going to run the country. It's not ours to run just because we had the military capability. And by the way, I'm tired of the mainstream media talking about how we had a precise, just a dedicated military effort here that was superb. It's a crime. I don't care how big, maybe it's the greatest heist in American or world history for all I know, but it's still a crime. Why are we talking about how great and mighty the American military is right now? And why are we talking about Maduro being a crook or being bad? That's not this. The story is you invaded a sovereign country. And before you talk about, well, he wasn't the leader and then the leader and a stolen election, probably right. Look who else tried that. What is today, January 6th? Can someone give me a thumbs up? Is today January 6th? I mean, all right, thank you. Today's January 6th, and we have the nerve to be talking about how he was an illegitimate president. Are you for real? Somebody tried that right in our backyard. They defecated. They went through Nancy Pelosi's mail. Okay? They had bear skins. They used bear spray. They attacked officers. It was bananas. They're back today to commemorate the crime. What were we talking about, the oil? It doesn't belong to us. And this whole thing is orchestrated. It's the greatest conspiracy ever, okay? He buys Citgo, he sets this up, he gives tens of millions of dollars, this singer, billionaire cat. And all of a sudden, wouldn't you know it? This is the planets lined up. He's a genius. It all worked out. Tell me what you think about it. This is indisputable. Dr. Rashad Ritchie has the day off. I'm Sharon Reed. Just enjoying my time with you. Write in. We'll get to more of your comments and many more stories to come. Stay with us.
Our audience has given us everything, so we couldn't be more connected. When we first started, people would start giving us directions and say, okay, the mics are too large, move them. Turn them into lav mics. I mean, they were incredible. And then one guy walked in and gave us a really expensive switcher and said, you guys need this, and walked out. Okay, it's amazing. They helped us build a studio. They did a $2 million funding campaign for us. And so they really are us. We do this show together to the point where some of our hosts are even former listeners. So when we say that the audience is part of TYT, we really mean it.
I think what the audience also appreciates is especially if they're members, they really get an inside look into who we are, our personal lives, what drives and motivates us. It goes beyond just storytelling. I think that what we do is allow our viewers and our listeners into our daily lives, and we give them kind of like this inside look into everything that we're passionate about and why it is that we're doing what we're doing, right? Like the motivation behind what we're doing, I think is important for our audience to know, and we're not shy about sharing that with them. And it's different from what people typically see in legacy media outlets where everything is kind of dry and robotic and there's really no personality or authenticity that comes along with it. Oftentimes when we're doing the show, I don't really think of it as me telling them stories. I think of it as us having a mutual respect and conversation with one another. And as I said earlier, I mean, not only do I feel that through the work I do, I'm informing our audience, but they inform me oftentimes as well. You know, they'll pitch stories to us. They'll tell us, you know, a certain perspective or angle to a story that we might have missed. And I love it.
Welcome back to Indisputable with Dr. Rashad Ritchie. Doc has the day off. For some reason, he's trusting me to fill in again. And wouldn't you believe it? It's just me today. Who knows what she'll say? But I'm going to start with what you have to say about some of what we've already brought to you. TYT member Teo 1790 is back with a statement. We have international laws to keep the world stable. Yeah, and the world's not stable right now. We've got invasions. He's talking about Greenland, Colombia, you're next. He mentioned Cuba. Well, how about those international laws? And how many countries do you expect the man he referred to as little Marco Rubio to help? We're going to run it, okay? I'm disappointed in him too. For people who's talking about he's the only grown up in the room, look who's in the room, okay? Look who's in the room. Really? Marco Rubio is guilty of crimes here. That's my opinion. Don't come after the network. But if he's and by the way, I think that's a strategy. And he'd be smart. Like, did you see him when Trump was like, Marco's going to run it? And Marco's like, what? You're the scapegoat here. You're the most legitimate one in the administration. You came from those people. You used to hate Putin and the like. And so they're dumping it all on you. Stephen Miller, the weasel, with the lights shining off of his bald head, giving interviews to Jake Tapper and others saying, ask Marco. You're the scapegoat just to see if you're one of us. This is what gang members usually do. You commit a crime, a brutal act, and then we'll jump you in. So he's doing it. People who lack integrity, not when it's easy. It's easy to, I saw it and I won't let it go. Won't stand for this. But when it's difficult, this could put me on track for the presidency. I think I'll do. That's when you're supposed to say, no, I'll go back to private life before I commit a crime here. I'll resign. Not little Marco Rubio. All right, TYT member, thank you, Teo 1790. Let's go to YouTube. And let's hear what Lori Papa Petros 4894 says. Right on, girl, raise your standard in the land. Morality, right versus wrong, ethics, laws, diplomacy. Look, who am I to sit upon a perch and tell somebody, you're wrong for this, you're wrong for that? Well, I'm sitting in for Doc today, so you are wrong for this, you're wrong for that, okay? Somebody has to say it. Well, we're talking about a little bit of integrity here. Why would you even go on to Sunday shows with George Stephanopoulos, who's fed up too? I would be too. You mean the network turned their back on you and they settled that BS lawsuit, George, and you still work there and you have to interview people? So what George Stephanopoulos is doing, he didn't give up his job or anything. He's paid a lot of money. He's just cutting these people off. He's ending interviews midstream because he can't take the lies anymore. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him. Twitch. Octo Squiddies, if the United States heard about what the United States was doing to its neighboring countries, the United States would invade the United States to spread democracy and freedom. Hell yes. And I'd start with Texas. And let's start with Texas, okay? And then there's some others in the South, and then go east and just swoop through all of them. Boy, that's like a civil war, isn't it? Well, Talamane, those who ordered the act and did the act should be in jail. That part, listen, we still live in, I'll say it more a question, the greatest? I'm not going anywhere for now. I thought about Canada for a little while, but that's not realistic. Going anywhere. I'm staying in Atlanta, and I'm going to eat soul food and experience the culture because this is where I choose to be, and this is where I have a right to be. But let's not kid a kidder. America is who America's always been. Colonizing, sexual assaulting, pillaging, taking whatever we want, and then lecturing the rest of the world. At what point does that get old? When you want to travel and people look at you like, by the way, don't go to any Latin country right now. Just stay your ass at home, okay? Because when they hear that American accent, persona non grata. You're not welcome. Would you welcome somebody from a place that did something so dirty? No. Keep your passport. Hold on to that. Let's get to this next one. New Jersey cop. If you were accused of this, you probably wouldn't want to show your face. You'd be disgraced, ashamed, embarrassed. But not this New Jersey cop. Fired for beating an unarmed black man with a flashlight, now suing. Let's give you a video of the incident.
Dog, are you a father? Are you a father?
No, but
you're not a father. You don't understand, my third time. This is the third time my kids have been taken from me. Yelling is gonna help.
A savage beating, an enraged madman, an unhinged criminal, barbarian. We all see it. Didn't you just see that? I hated to have to show it to you, but again, this is a mirror. Criminal charges hanging over him. Spencer Finch, former New Jersey cop, is suing his former department, claiming he has been unfairly targeted because of his race instead of his well-documented history of abusing black men. Finch was fired, and wow, wouldn't you know it, fired and arrested in 2021 after he was recorded on body cam video beating an unarmed black man named Brandon Cosby with a flashlight 14 times. Then he kneed the man in the face as he sat on the floor, handcuffed, during a domestic violence call. Finch is also suing Edwin Martinez, Patterson police officer who was with Finch when he beat Cosby with a flashlight. Probably suing him because he didn't join in. In the lawsuit, Finch is claiming that his aggressive use of his flashlight was done out of safety for himself and others. Boy, they're brazen, aren't they? The video shows Cosby was not attacking anyone. Officer Finch's flashlight not only probably saved his life, but also the lives of defendant Martinez, 3 female victims in an apartment barricaded from one Brandon Cosby and Cosby himself, the claim states. If Officer Finch had resorted to using his ASP, that's the baton, instead, it would have probably caused severe or serious injury to Cosby, as the ASP is much more lethal than a flashlight. It's always, you got to be careful who you get to represent you, or maybe that's his way because he's a brazen assaulter. There's some lawyers who will just say anything. They'll say anything. And he found himself one. We just saw the footage on body cam that this time wasn't raced or something. And this is your statement? Maybe some fool will believe it. He also accuses Martinez of being afraid of Cosby, not doing anything to de-escalate the situation, which required Finch to step in with his flashlight. Defendant Martinez failed to de-escalate the situation in the hall using inferior techniques to try and calm Cosby. In part, however, Cosby was out of control, the claim states. Say, what, man? Bruh, what? Should I say? I've unfortunately been in court sometimes, and I've sat across from somebody saying dumb nonsense like this. I didn't even know how you defend yourself. I didn't even know how to defend myself from the lies. They were just so outrageous. I probably just shook my head or laughed. I did. It's crazy making, but I'm not crazy. And neither are you. We all saw it. It was hard to watch. And now the out of control barbarian is blaming people because they didn't de-escalate? God damn. You bold with it. Come on, bring us some more. Once he began attacking Cosby, Finch claimed Cosby tried to toss him out of a 3rd floor fire escape. But again, that is not evident on video. Cosby being a trained wrestler exhibiting super strength. Oh, there it is. The black man's super strength argument again. Now you did at least get creative. There it is. The black man has superhuman strength, so you had to do it. God. If the wonderful production team here at Indisputable could get in touch with Dave Chappelle and send this information to him, I know he could do something with this on stage that could perhaps bring it to light better than I am doing. This is incredible. Put this on Chappelle's show. Trained wrestler, super strength, prowess, was beating Finch badly near where it appeared Cosby was trying to throw Finch out the 3rd floor fire escape, which would have killed him. Doing an awful lot of talking to be this kind of beating. But this is what the claims state. Finch also claims he was merely defending himself when he kneed Cosby in the face with his knee once Cosby had been handcuffed. Officer Finch was straddling over Cosby, so he did not try and escape or commit crime, more crime. Cosby made a clear motion to attack Finch with his body, and particularly his head and mouth, appearing to try and take Officer Finch out by injuring and incapacitating him in the scrotum. Oh, this is getting X-rated now. He tried to bite your scrotum. Now, come on, man. I want Chappelle to have this. This is so gross. This is not funny, but this is elaborate and creative in a very shocking and alarming way. He tried to bite you in the scrotum. Is that right, Officer Finch? If I was his lawyer, I put it in a document, but you're going to testify to all of this, man. I'm not going to sit up here and tell your story, this nonsense. You're going to tell your own creative story and pay up front. You're going to pay up front for this. I'm not going to take, not just going to be the retainer. I'll give you an all-in price for this one. Where were we? At the scrotum, right? Wow. Officer Finch quickly was able to knee Cosby in the mouth to avoid the injury, and yet another attempt to injure Officer Finch. But again, the video does not show that. Instead, showing Martinez holding Cosby against the wall with Finch's groin nowhere near his mouth when he struck him in the face with his knee. Cosby was charged with making terroristic threats, assault on police officer, resisting arrest, which were all dismissed by the Passaic prosecutor's office. Finch, meanwhile, was arrested the following month on charges of aggravated assault, official misconduct, using a prohibited weapon, his flashlight, and perjury for providing a strikingly different narrative to what the recorded video shows. First case in which a Patterson cop was charged due to evidence from body cam video. That tells you how nasty this one is. That tells you how nasty this dirty cop is. If police come from society, and there's the percentages hold, just society, how can this be the first guy ever charged with lying and the body cam thing? It doesn't add up. He's not the first guy who did it. He's just so bad, and there's so much history there that even the cops and their institutional nonsense said, he's too dirty for us. We're done here. We're done. Did nobody see anybody try to take a bite of your scrotum, Finch? We're done. Wow. While awaiting trial for those charges, he was indicted in January 2023 for the 2018 beating of Justin Montgomery. Told you so. This is tip of the iceberg. Who had filed a lawsuit in 2019. Civil case against Finch was settled, thank the taxpayers, $500,000. Criminal case remains pending. Finch was acquitted of the 2021 charge against Cosby in December 2023. Did they go for it? Did the prosecutor go for it? Who was on the jury? Because I've seen that happen too. Stunning. Just stunning. Finch also listed several other cops who were accused of misconduct over the years but did not get fired. Told you so. He claims it bolsters his argument of being a victim of reverse racism. But Cosby's lawsuit, which remains pending, claims Finch has long gotten away with his crimes. Defendants, police officer Finch and police officer Martinez have had numerous complaints of excessive force and preparing and filing false police reports directed at African American and other minority individuals without receiving any discipline, sanctions, reprimands, suspensions, or termination by defendant, City of Patterson. Cosby's claim states. Now, that part of his claim I would probably affirm. Affirmative, probably true. Probably true. Listed as defendants are Andre Say, Mayor Patterson, Amelia Valdez, Passaic County Prosecutor, Susan Bonds, the detective with Passaic County Prosecutor's Office, Luis Spagnola, a lieutenant with the Patterson Police Department, Edwin Martinez, the Patterson police officer who was with Finch when he beat the unarmed black man with a flashlight who did not try to bite his scrotum, Natasha Berwick, sergeant with the Patterson Police Department. He was also sure to mention that Mayor Saig is Middle Eastern. Jesus Christ. I hate to do it, but are we sure this is a story? Was this fully vetted? Is this a real story? Jeez. Valdez is Hispanic. Bonds and Berwick are both black. He also accused Bonds, the black detective from the prosecutor's office, of having a personal connection with Montgomery, the black man he beat in 2018, who was also the victim in his pending criminal case. But Finch did not provide evidence of that connection. Defendant Bonds has reverse racist intent against plaintiff as a Caucasian police officer due to her hatred of Caucasians in general. What happened? Sis didn't want to date you. And due to her family or other internal connection with individual named Justin Montgomery and or the Montgomery family, because all blacks know each other. Well, I added that part, but that's what he's saying. I added that part. But that's what he's saying. They're black. Don't you know them? What? Patterson Police Department has a long history of civil rights violations against black people, including the time a Patterson cop responded to shots fired and shot the first black man he saw, paralyzing the unarmed black man in that incident, who was only running for his safety. This is a Looney Tune one. The only thing I like about it is that it's come to light. When we talk about privilege, it's not just a feeling. It's that you actually put this nonsense on paper. We watched you on your body cam footage. Your partner beat the you-know-what out of an unarmed black man after jawing him up pretty good, claiming that he tried to bite your scrotum and that he was trying to throw you off a fire escape. None of it's on the recording, which is strange. But privilege says you can do it, so that's what you're going to do. America, look at your life. Look at your life. And by the way, look in the rearview mirror before you engage and reverse. And this is a perfect setup for this next one. I wish a Karen would.
You want to call the police on them for having a barbecue on a Sunday.
I feel free! Back off!
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
On the other side of the
Go away.
fat
Go
bitch.
away.
Go away.
Go away.
Go.
Go away. Bye.
Go. You're
You have nothing against us.
Oh, I am, because he tried to hit me and he just said he was going to do something.
Okay, go away.
You stop behind a moving car. Go away, you giant.
Go away.
Oh, I got it, you dumb bitch.
I don't care.
I don't care
You
either.
just call me a dumb bitch.
Yes?
What did I do to you?
Your husband.
There's nothing wrong with him.
He's going to hit you.
There's something. Oh! Babe, you just hit me.
These two cross-chromosome idiots are a couple. They're a couple who, they're full of Karenicity. Do you see that? Karma's a what? Male Karen almost runs over his wife during a parking lot argument. Can you imagine how this couple acts after they have a few cocktails? Let me take you to Michigan via the video, because I'm not going to go to Michigan if this is what I'm going to run into. What you just watched was a white man almost running over a black woman in a Kroger parking lot, then almost running over his own wife. Put up the shot. Look at her. We can laugh because she wasn't seriously injured. Look at this nonsense right here. Do you want to look at this? Do you want to be with this? Better get out. It doesn't matter if it was not intentional. It was during an act of Karenicity, and you could have been seriously injured. Do you understand that this is the real karma? Brief yet astonishing videos making the rounds on social media. It was shared as an Instagram reel by up-and-coming comedian Desi Alexander with the caption, "Sometimes karma just has a sense of humor." However, many feel that upon closer look, the contents are nothing to laugh about. Okay. "You have nothing against us," the wife told her, to which the black woman responded, "He was trying to hit me, and he just said he was going to do something to me." Adding insult to injury, the black woman was subjected to several hateful slurs, including being called a fat B and or something by the man. Look, this is something to laugh at, and I'm going to ask you to put it up again. Okay? If you want to be with a male Karen and participate in the Karenicity, this could be you. This is viral. She's never going to live this down. In fact, it's an incredible poster. Put it on a t-shirt. If I can secure the copyright, I'd put it on a t-shirt and sell it as an example. In fact, I just had a great business idea. I'm not going to go any further. I have a great business idea, and it's going to earn me a lot of money. And it's also going to spread and do greater good. It's going to spread awareness. More to come. More to come. That story, and can we put the shot up just one more time? Just gave me biggest idea. It's going to make me a ton of money, and I'm going to give most of it away. because I'm stupid, I guess. But I'm going to give it away because it's about spreading awareness and how karma, racism, it hurts all of us. Karenicity. If you want to spread it, I'm going to profit from it. I can't wait till I can bring you this. This is indisputable. Doc really doesn't want me to use the show for my own commercial gain. I think he'd support it because it's going to be a message to all. It's greater good. Doc has the day off. I'm Sharon Reed. Much more to come, including your comments. Jesus.
Our audience has given us everything, so we couldn't be more connected. When we first started, people would start giving us directions and say, okay, the mics are too large, move them. Turn them into lav mics. I mean, they were incredible. And then one guy walked in and gave us a really expensive switcher and said, you guys need this, and walked out. Okay, it's amazing. They helped us build a studio. They did a $2 million funding campaign for us. And so they really are us. We do this show together to the point where some of our hosts are even former listeners. So when we say that the audience is part of TYT, we really mean it.
I think what the audience also appreciates is especially if they're members, they really get an inside look into who we are, our personal lives, what drives and motivates us. It goes beyond just storytelling. I think that what we do is allow our viewers and our listeners into our daily lives, and we give them kind of like this inside look into everything that we're passionate about and why it is that we're doing what we're doing, right? Like the motivation behind what we're doing, I think is important for our audience to know, and we're not shy about sharing that with them. And it's different from what people typically see in legacy media outlets where everything is kind of dry and robotic and there's really no personality or authenticity that comes along with it. Oftentimes when we're doing the show, I don't really think of it as me telling them stories. I think of it as us having a mutual respect and conversation with one another. And as I said earlier, I mean, not only do I feel that through the work I do, I'm informing our audience, but they inform me oftentimes as well. You know, they'll pitch stories to us. They'll tell us, you know, a certain perspective or angle to a story that we might have missed. And I love it.
Welcome back to Indisputable with Dr. Rashad Ritchie. Doc has the day off. I think he's allowed me to be here solo. Nobody said anything so far, so here I am. Let's get to more of your comments. It's been an incredible show so far. These stories, again, it actually makes me scared and want to stay barricaded in my home. These are real stories that our incredible production team has culled all resources, made calls, contacts, sources, and they presented these. And we're like, this is America? Gee. TYT members first, KO 1790's back. This is where his mind is at when he thinks of black men. That could be a comment related to any of the stories we brought you today. We'll go with the New Jersey cop who beat the living daylights out of a black man unarmed with his flashlight and then sued everybody else for not helping him, basically. I mean, that's what's going on here. He's up on criminal charges and suing everyone and saying they're all black and brown and that's why they're pointing at me. Well, no, we have the footage. You beat an unarmed black man. You said he tried to bite your scrotum. He didn't. That's why you're up on criminal charges. But privilege, let him sue. Rich F6N, I've been listening for 6 months. This is the truth. Love the way you all run this show, one of the best. Well, you can thank Doc and his team for that. This is a one-of-a-kind show. And this is a one-of-a-kind network. And in these times where everyone's doing mergers and lying and doing the bidding of you corporate donors, Basically, they've been captured. This is the place to be where we can just tell the truth and talk freely and openly about things that are going on in America, throughout the world, Gaza. We just say what the truth is. We could watch videos and tell the truth. So thank you, Doc, bringing this show to light. Thank you, TYT family. Please join, please support if you can. That's what I love about this place. There's no pressure, but independent media is all we've got left. Like, in all seriousness, I've been a journalist my whole life. I love it. I will never stop being one. I believe in the truth, though. I had so many fights throughout my career because I can't say that's not true. We just have to tell the truth. A little bit of truth? Come on. I know you can do it. Secret, Sarah relies. Yeah, 9681. Sharing your smile is a sunshine to me. Thank you. I appreciate that. Bubba Frank Sword Dragon says, now that claim that lots of other cops did the same thing and were not fired is actually an argument that he could try to prove in a wrongful termination case, the totality of. I agree with you. He may be the lowest of the low, but there's plenty of low to go around, is what you're really saying. And I agree with you. Twitch, I don't get to Twitch enough. This cop needs to be a writer. His imagination is. I agree. We'll write for some horror flick, independent, out of Hollywood, something. Somebody will fund it. Our jail network, Karma, you are needed. That's right. If he would wash his back window, maybe he could see stuff. Talking about the male Karen who almost ran over his wife. Oh, that was epic. If that's not a sign, sis, from whatever God you believe in, that it's time to get out of this thing, I don't know what to tell you. That was epic. One minute he's cussing out another woman, black woman, saying all kinds of nasty things. And this minute he tries to run you over. The last he saw you, you were behind the vehicle. And he didn't even bother to jack. Hopefully we'll get to more of your, well, I'll give you one more. Thomas. Karen on Karen crimes are on the rise, and I'm here for it. Me too. Whoever said that wasn't funny, I'm sorry, it was funny, okay? It was funny. She had it coming. So did he. Karen for Karens by Sharon Reed, new segment. I love you guys, and I love your suggestions. I love them. We're laughing with you and at you, Karen. Boy, Thomas, you're on one today. I'll take some of those gummies. Green New Deal Dragon, he also had a microscope with him so he could find the cop's scrotum. Now stop it. Okay? Stop. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. And so I don't mind it. I love you guys and your sense of humor. I don't mind it at all. Otherwise, what are we doing here? We have to change the world, make it a better place. But what are we doing here if we can't laugh along the way? Because if not, we'd just be crying. Let's get to Trump's health department. What nastiness are they up to now? I'll tell you. They're freezing $10 billion in funding to 5 Democratic states. Why? Because they can. Who cares who it hurts? Trump is cutting $10 billion of funding from the health departments of Minnesota, New York, California, Illinois, Colorado. They all seem to have something in common. What is it? Because he believes these Democratic states are committing fraud. More than a dozen welfare fraud schemes in Minnesota. But Trump did not cite any evidence for the other state. I know somebody who got in trouble down in Florida. He might be in Congress today talking about fraud. Okay. The Trump administration plans to freeze $10 billion in funding for child care subsidies, social services, cash support for low-income families in 5 states controlled by Democrats, claiming widespread fraud throughout those states without citing evidence after a major welfare fraud scheme in one of them. Minnesota, New York, California, Illinois, and Colorado will be cut off from around $7 billion in funding for the Temporary Assistance for Needy Families program. Wasn't that something Brett Favre got mixed up in? Another story, another day. But if I remember, TAM, Google it. TAM provides cash assistance to households with children, according to 2 people familiar with the matter. New York Times giving up some of the reporting here. 5 states will also lose access to nearly $2.4 billion for the Child Care Development Fund, which supports child care for working parents, around $870 million for social service grants that mostly benefit children at risk, the people said. The funding loss will lead to thousands of programs being cut that help low-income families in those states. Now in Minnesota, there was fraud. We've covered it. Plan freeze appears to build on the administration's pause last week and $185 million in annual aid to Minnesota daycare centers after investigators said more than a dozen welfare fraud schemes in that state had led to billions of dollars in taxpayer losses. As for the other 4 states, no evidence shows fraud. This is just Trump attempting to punish enemies and political opponents. In reality, he's just hurting everyday Americans. During the government shutdown last year, administration froze or canceled more than 200 projects. Those projects primarily located in Democratic cities, congressional districts, and states. The administration also cut federal disaster preparedness funds for the District of Columbia and 11 blue states after they opposed Mr. Trump's mass deportation campaign, though a federal judge later ordered the funding restored. I don't know why we're still putting up with this. The power exists today. Why are we even talking about 3 years left on this guy's administration? Today happens to be January 6th, the anniversary of that filth and that treasonous insurrection that took place on his behalf. Remember? It wasn't that long ago, and they're actually marking the anniversary and rewriting history. And every single day he proves he does not love America, because in order to love America and lead America, that means you're leading all Americans, not just your billionaire friends, not just people who look like you. And I don't just mean the sweaty orange stuff and the potbelly eating Taco Bell. You know what I mean. You know exactly what I mean. This doesn't have to continue for one more second. There is fraud. Every state, every sector. But that's not what this is about. Do you like fraud unless you're benefiting from fraud? I would tell you, even fraudsters, if they had another way to make their money, probably would say, yeah, I'd rather do it this way. Nobody likes fraud. That's not what's going on here. And to allow this for one more second is sicko behavior. It's actually sick. We have the power to stop it right this second. We can stop this right now. Right now. As we're making plans to steal oil from Venezuela. And I don't know what we're going to do with the kidnapped president or his wife, or why she had all those bandages on her face. But we can moonwalk a lot of this back today. And that way Greenland and their officials can stop having to answer all of these questions when he threatens them some more. That's been done too. Stephen Miller says we'll be taking Greenland. We can neutralize all this. And we can also then finish the job, because that wasn't done after January 6th. Remember Merrick Garland, everybody wanted to slow walk it. And then a final push when it looked like this guy could really be back. We just ran out of time. You didn't run out of time in prosecuting these crimes against us and our country, the stealing of democracy. We didn't run out of time. You didn't want to do anything, Democrats or Republicans, despite talking that talk. And now look at us. And now look at us. It's sick. This is Indisputable. Doc has the day off. I'm Sharon Reed sitting in for Doc today. Much more to come. Stay with us.
Our audience has given us everything, so we couldn't be more connected. When we first started, people would start giving us directions and say, okay, the mics are too large, move them. Turn them into lav mics. I mean, they were incredible. And then one guy walked in and gave us a really expensive switcher and said, you guys need this, and walked out. Okay, it's amazing. They helped us build a studio. They did a $2 million funding campaign for us. And so they really are us. We do this show together to the point where some of our hosts are even former listeners. So when we say that the audience is part of TYT, we really mean it.
I think what the audience also appreciates is especially if they're members, they really get an inside look into who we are, our personal lives, what drives and motivates us. It goes beyond just storytelling. I think that what we do is allow our viewers and our listeners into our daily lives, and we give them kind of like this inside look into everything that we're passionate about and why it is that we're doing what we're doing, right? Like the motivation behind what we're doing, I think is important for our audience to know, and we're not shy about sharing that with them. And it's different from what people typically see in legacy media outlets where everything is kind of dry and robotic and there's really no personality or authenticity that comes along with it. Oftentimes when we're doing the show, I don't really think of it as me telling them stories. I think of it as us having a mutual respect and conversation with one another. And as I said earlier, I mean, not only do I feel that through the work I do, I'm informing our audience, but they inform me oftentimes as well. You know, they'll pitch stories to us. They'll tell us, you know, a certain perspective or angle to a story that we might have missed. And I love it.
Welcome back to Indisputable with Dr. Rashad Ritchie. I'm Sharon Reed. Doc has the day off. What would Jesus do? Remember, people had them bracelets on and would say WWJD. What would Jesus do? So, well, that's it's a reminder. You know, if you're a believer, you would glance down at that and you would make the right decision, one based on faith, integrity, something. I don't need to wear the bracelet. I'm just telling you, some people, that's why they did it. And sometimes they had t-shirts and hashtags. What would Jesus do? This is the antithesis of that. Trump auctions off a painting of Jesus and then offers to sign it. Why would you be signing a painting of Jesus? Well, what are we doing here? Trump rang in the new year in the most Trumpian way possible, throwing the worst New Year's Eve party ever and auctioning off a painting of Jesus for over $2 million. What?
We're $2.5 million. Anybody else? Going once? $2,750,000. Who is it? Oh, I go with that guy. He's got plenty of change. We thank you very much, and the charity thanks you very much.
I can think of a lot of places I'd rather be on New Year's Eve. In bed. I actually missed the countdown. I don't care. You knew 2026 was coming. I definitely wouldn't want to spend it there with Trump talking about a Jesus painting. Trump threw a glitzy New Year's Eve bash at his Mar-a-Lago estate, Palm Beach, Florida. During it, he auctioned off a freshly painted portrait of Jesus Christ by artist Vanessa Carabuena for a staggering $2.75 million. Of posts filling in the details. Trump has hosted New Year's Eve parties at Mar-a-Lago for years. Wednesday night's attendees reportedly included former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani. I wonder if his hair was dyed, if anything was dripping. I mean, it can get pretty hot at these parties. It's just what crossed my mind. Remember, he had the hair dye and stuff, and he was with the Bring the Kraken lady. What was her name? Sidney Powell. Anyway, Mayor Rudy Giuliani was there. Filmmaker Brett Ratner, who directed the upcoming documentary Melania about First Lady Melania Trump. I'll be boycotting his stuff now. Didn't know he was behind that. Before he hit that price, he mocked another equally staggering offer. He's the biggest guy on Wall Street, so that's peanuts. Don't let that red hat fool you. He wears that so he sort of takes people by surprise before he pumps the money out of their wallets. He just thinks he's so funny. He's just not even funny. Proceeds from the sale, he said, would go to St. Jude's Hospital and the local sheriff's office. What will they do with the money? Look, Trump loves the stage. And I suppose there's nothing wrong with that. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day who was a former incredible basketball player. And he said to me, you know what? I miss the spotlight. I thought that was a very vulnerable thing to say. I miss the stage. He's working on some projects now to keep him out in front. He said, I miss the applause, is what he actually said. And I don't think that makes you a narcissist. You want to interact with people. You want people to recognize you. You want to do good things that people support and look up to. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's not what we're talking about here. This is a narcissist. As a layperson, I am diagnosing it, who wants to be out in front and wants to dip into unsavory places. And by that, I mean, maybe you believe, maybe you don't. It's not for me to judge, but I don't believe he should be talking about Jesus. No, it's gross. Okay? Money he can talk about because he loves it, loves to worship it, loves to steal it, whatever. But I don't think he should be talking too much about Jesus Christ. Nor offer to sign it. It's just weird. Why would you didn't even, do you see how this is what makes a narcissist? You did not paint it. Okay? Is Michael Jordan signing Scottie Pippen's card? That's not what's happening. Michael Jordan's going to sign Michael Jordan's card. Shaq is Shaq's card. You're not going to ask Shaq to sign somebody else's card. Why are you signing the Jesus painting? You're not the artist. You're not the artist. And you're not God. How about that? That's probably what I should start. You're not God. All right, let's go to Minnesota. He ran with Kamala to be her vice president. They didn't win. Stunning upset. Governor Tim Walz won't seek re-election amid fraud scandal scrutiny. Not going to be governor anymore either. He's out. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz announced today he is dropping his re-election bid for a third term as scrutiny grows now over his handling of a massive fraud scandal in his state. Every minute I spend defending my own political interests would be a minute I can't spend defending the people of Minnesota against the criminals who prey on our generosity and the cynics who prey on our differences, Walz said in a statement, who still projected confidence of his ability to win a third term had he remained in the race. Walz's announcement marks a stunning turnabout for the Minnesota governor, who less than 2 years ago was tapped as the 2024 vice presidential nominee, widely floated as a potential 2028 White House candidate. Prosecutors allege as much as roughly $9 billion was stolen by various groups in Minnesota who purported to have provided meal assistance for children in need, in addition to other social safety net services that were reimbursed through state agencies. Follow the money. Where there's money, crooks will come. the Hill with some of the reporting here. We appreciate it. President Trump, House Majority Whip Tom Emmer, Republican out of Minnesota, other Republican, criticized Walz and his administration for the growing scandal, with the Trump administration saying it was considering revoking Somali American citizenship if they were implicated in the fraud. Many of the people charged in the scandal are of Somali descent. Minnesota is home to roughly about 80,000 Somali descent residents, vast majority being U.S. born or naturalized citizens. He says they're still citizens, even though I know you want to go to the Supreme Court. We're waiting to hear what they have to say about what is already settled case law. Who knows what they'll say? You'll do what you want to do anyway. Walz's administration, which has suggested tens of millions of dollars were likely stolen, far short of the $9 billion figure suggested by prosecutors, has taken steps toward addressing the issue, including auditing more than a dozen Medicaid services, tapping Tim O'Malley, former superintendent of the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, as Minnesota's director of program integrity. So the scandal increasingly became a political liability for Walz in recent months, especially after a video by conservative YouTuber Nick Shirley went viral. Trump administration froze child care funding to the state of Minnesota in response to the viral video that purports to expose extensive fraud by federally funded daycare centers. However, Shirley's specific allegations have not been verified, some challenging them in recent days. I mean, anybody with a little, what's he got, one of those cameras on a tripod, a phone or something, and he just starts spouting off. And he had the power, this one privileged kid, to, hurt a lot of people, despite the admitted fraud that's going on there. Not everybody. And now you're hurting people. Shirley has a history of dishonesty. It includes paying immigrant laborers to hold pro-Biden signs, clearly hoping voters would think they were self-motivated. In another video, he claimed Portland had, quote, fallen and Antifa had taken control of the city. Unvarnished lie. CNN verified that children were being dropped off at a daycare center Shirley had targeted. Minnesota Star Tribune visited the daycares in question, found when they were allowed access, children playing and napping peacefully. CBS News reviewed security footage showing kids being dropped off at one targeted center. Others were indeed empty. They'd gone out of business before Shirley filmed outside the building. Massive statewide fraud scandal in Minnesota is threatening to become a liability for Democrats in the state's closely watched Senate race this year. In particular, some Democrats think the widespread money laundering scheme, which is estimated to have stolen as much as roughly $9 billion, again, that's what prosecutors say, could be a problem for the Lieutenant Governor, Peggy Flanagan, the second in command to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Flanagan is running against Representative Angie Craig, Democrat out of Minnesota, for the party's nomination to replace Senator Tina Smith out of Minnesota. Look, who knows what's going to happen there? And Amy Klobuchar may become governor, something. Fraud is happening. Tim Walz who seems to like an honorable person, can also be guilty of falling asleep at the wheel, or, this has been going on for a long time. Was investigated under other administrations. Okay, it's not like Trump discovered this fraud. It's been going on a long time. To just drop out, though, and run away, in other times you might say, well, that's honorable. He doesn't want to be the distraction. But my thing is this. With Tim Walz, who's done a lot of great things in Minnesota, small and big, he's actually gotten his lunch pail and he's gone to work, and he's done a lot of great things. To just up and leave and not knowing who's going to inherit the house, that's a problem. Stay and fight. Whoever's up next is going to be a distraction too. Stay and fight. What good is leaving going to do? That's what I would ask him. It's a very noble speech, this New Year's Day, whenever he posted this stuff. It's noble. But who going to take your place? If it's another Democrat, it's still going to be scrutiny. Real, perceived, overblown. It's still going to be scrutiny. So I don't see a good reason to do this and leave the people of Minnesota who you claim to love, and I believe you love Tim Walz, in the lurch. I would, if I were one of his advisors, and they didn't kick me out of the room, I would say, why, for what purpose? What does that do to help the people of Minnesota? I would got him to stay. This is Indisputable. I'm Sharon Reed in for Dr. Rashad Ritchie. Thanks, Doc, for letting me spend time with the TYT family today. Much more to come. Stay with us.
Our audience has given us everything, so we couldn't be more connected. When we first started, people would start giving us directions and say, okay, the mics are too large, move them. Turn them into lav mics. I mean, they were incredible. And then one guy walked in and gave us a really expensive switcher and said, you guys need this, and walked out. Okay, it's amazing. They helped us build a studio. They did a $2 million funding campaign for us. And so they really are us. We do this show together to the point where some of our hosts are even former listeners. So when we say that the audience is part of TYT, we really mean it.
I think what the audience also appreciates is especially if they're members, they really get an inside look into who we are, our personal lives, what drives and motivates us. It goes beyond just storytelling. I think that what we do is allow our viewers and our listeners into our daily lives, and we give them kind of like this inside look into everything that we're passionate about and why it is that we're doing what we're doing, right? Like the motivation behind what we're doing, I think is important for our audience to know, and we're not shy about sharing that with them. And it's different from what people typically see in legacy media outlets where everything is kind of dry and robotic and there's really no personality or authenticity that comes along with it. Oftentimes when we're doing the show, I don't really think of it as me telling them stories. I think of it as us having a mutual respect and conversation with one another. And as I said earlier, I mean, not only do I feel that through the work I do, I'm informing our audience, but they inform me oftentimes as well. They'll pitch stories to us. They'll tell us, a certain perspective or angle to a story that we might have missed. And I love it.
Welcome back to Indisputable with Dr. Rashad Ritchie. Doc is off today. He's earned the day off. I'm Sharon Reed, just keeping the seat warm for Doc. I do want to welcome and say thank you to Irish Welsh Dragon. Subscribe with Prime. 29 months they've subscribed, currently on a 10-month streak. So thank you, Irish Welsh. Says he's been watching for years. 29-month subscription. Keep up the great work, TYT. Don't you love TYT? Thank you to our founder. We appreciate you. We appreciate this community. I mean, I really mean it. It takes a lot for me to pledge my support to something. But that's because this is like, where they put up on the screen, you're our boss. Is that what it is, Jordan? They put, you're our boss. That's like I love that because it means, I used to always say this to my colleagues in local news, like, you're no better than the viewer. Sometimes we're no better than some of the people we cover. So what are you doing here? This is a community. It's just whatever. So that's why I love TYT. Look, innocent black men since the history of America are used to being pointed at and fingered for things they didn't do. It's just the way it works. Maybe you're walking down the street, you're just whistling to yourself. And at certain times, maybe Mississippi, if a certain woman of persuasion said, he whistled at me. Ooh, you're in trouble now. But this is 2026. And in 2026, there's still enough going on that if you want to pin something on a black man, you just pick something, pin it on him. It's not right. There's plenty going on. You don't have to make things up. You don't have to make things up. So why are you? Innocent black man's license suspended over a crime that never happened. You see what I mean? Why would you do that? This is Justin Jones, resident of Carroll County in Georgia. Jones says he was hit with a DUI charge in Santa Fe, New Mexico. The catch? He ain't never been there. He's never been to New Mexico. And he doesn't have a DUI. And I put the picture up. This black man accused of something that didn't even happen, forced to keep a pleasant look on his face. And this is what we teach our black men in this society so they don't look menacing or mean. When you're talking to the media, make sure you have a pleasant look on your face so that people will perceive you as not a threat. He should be angry as hell, actually, but not a pleasant look on his face. It's a job well done. Somebody coached him up. Or maybe it's just living as a black man. Georgia man has been fighting for months to get his driver's license back after he was accused of committing a crime in a state he's never visited. Justin Jones said he was hit with a DUI charge in Santa Fe, New Mexico that was apparently filed Christmas Eve 2005, WSB TV reported. I received a letter in the mail the beginning of October that my license was suspended. That was a surprise, Jones said. Never been to New Mexico, never driven through New Mexico. I never even stepped foot in the state off a plane, Jones said. Jones, a high school administrator in Carroll County, thought he could visit the Georgia Department of Driver Services to just straighten everything out, only to find himself in a lengthy battle to clear the charges against him. To DDS, he sent a stamped and sealed document from a New Mexico court clerk confirming that he has no convictions in the state. However, the agency stated that he had to go further. What do you mean? New Mexico Taxation and Revenue Department also sent a letter to DDS stating this letter certifies that he does not currently have any holds on his driving record within our state. Furthermore, it is essential to clarify that the record under review pertains to a different individual who shares a similar name and date of birth. His name is Justin Jones. I mean, come on. Do you know how many Justin Joneses there are in America? Really? Yet the Georgia DDS still refused to reinstate Jones's license. Welcome to Georgia. In a statement at WSB, me and my wife celebrated before I left the house. When I got back, I was kind of defeated because I was surprised, Jones said. Jones hasn't been able to legally drive for 2 months. Georgia DDS said this to WSB. New Mexico DMV sent the DUI electronically to the DDS and it was added to his record. We contacted New Mexico and requested they submit a negate to correct their error. Once the negate is received from them, then the DUI will be removed by DDS. This is the kind of stuff that drives me crazy. You can't, this is an extraordinary situation, and it's a mistake. We all see it. You can't pick up the phone and talk to your counterpart. This has been going on for 2 months. That same person who gave the statement from DDS is probably driving to and from work, unbothered. But not Justin Jones, who's never been to New Mexico. He can't drive until somebody does a negate order, whatever the hell that is. Look at your life. Jones said the DUI was filed the day after his 21st birthday. He's now 41 years old. He recalled that he was home from college celebrating the occasion, not in New Mexico. I'm just hoping to get someone who can get to yes, somebody who has some common sense to say, you know what, this person is not the same person. Let's lift this suspension, Jones said. It can be done in 5 minutes. Yeah, Good thing I'm not in charge of DDS, because anybody who doesn't behave in a responsible, reasonable, sustainable manner, I don't want you dealing with people. You can't be on the payroll unless you can. I'm looking for people. You can't put everything in an employee handbook. If you do not make sound decisions and you're not a person who can solve things instead of putting up more barriers to innocent members of the public, I don't want you on my team. Fair? I think it's fair. I declare it fair. We're out of time too. So I'm just gonna say that's a period. Maybe it's an exclamation mark. I don't want you on my team. This is so easy. Mr. Jones should not have to Uber around or be in one of those Waymo cars. What's the one? I'm so sick of seeing these driverless cars around. You're also blocking traffic under cross roads and bridges in Atlanta. Let's fix that technology and let Mr. Jones drive. I have enjoyed my time with you. Thanks, Doc, again for letting me visit with your audience, this beautiful TYT family. Please support when and where you can. Stay with us. And we hope you'll join us again. Thanks.